This is a vintage toy freedom fail, but not in the usual sense in which I do a vintage toy freedom fail. Normally, if you've seen some before, I purchase something that I intend to open and then I change my mind about it. So it's usually because of sometimes value, usually because of rarity. And this is a little bit different than that because I actually failed in this regard. You might be able to see when I purchased this, because I thought this was sealed and I didn't read the description well. And when I received it, I noticed it had come off the card. I thought maybe it happened during shipping, but no, I failed to read the description that clearly said it had come off the card. So, first of all, buyer beware. I've had that happen a few times where I've bought something and then I was like, I didn't really read the description, so that was kind of on me. I've had a few times as a seller where people, maybe didn't read it very well. I had a guy return something. It was like a tabletop hockey game thing that was actually pretty expensive and cost a lot to ship. And he was upset about it, described the issue, sent pictures, and I said, it clearly describes all of those in the listing, and the photos you sent me pretty much match the photos that were in the listing. So, I don't know if I don't know. Maybe sometimes I think people might just bid on something or buy something without really looking at it, which is what happened here. But that's okay. I wanted to open this. It's still in here. It doesn't look like it's been removed because I've never actually opened a Jurassic Park figure for Vintage Toy Freedom. So this is Jurassic Park 3, Dr. Alan Grant and Velociraptor. This was made by Hasbro in 2000, obviously based on the movie. Now, I've seen Jurassic Park 3. I don't really remember it. I have it on VHS, and I remember the cover is really cool. It's got, like the scratched 3. Like, I think that's a very, very nice logo. Very, very cool logo design. Because the first one, obviously, Jurassic Park, and there's a Lost World, and then 3, I think, is when they actually go back to the park, the original park. I don't quite remember. They all kind of run together. So, anyway, I'm getting old and forgetful, but we have Alan Grant here. Now, I want to say something about these figures. So, they went with the 3 1/4 inch line. The original Jurassic Park, and I believe Lost World as well, were taller. They were more of like a 5-inch line. Didn't have a lot of articulation, just like these. Now, I do think the paint detail on the pants, I think that looks really good. But, these just remind me of kind of the crappy Joes that came out around this time, around 2001. That I bought a few, but definitely was not a fan of. They came in like 2 packs. There'd be like Destro and things like that. So definitely was not a fan of those. And I think that's kind of what Hasbro was going with these. So, and you actually notice the card is smaller. Everything's smaller. I mean, the Raptor, I guess, and it's not really to scale. I mean, I would think that it's going to be almost as tall as him, but, it's a little friend. One interesting thing, I don't know if you saw this pop up, but he actually has this little, it's like a little foot thing for him to stand in the card. This is pretty cool. A lot of people collect the Jurassic Park dinosaurs. I've sold quite a few on eBay. I find them at thrift stores fairly often. So, as in terms of like a hard plastic PVC minifigure, that's pretty cool. A nice addition to somebody's collection. Now, this claw here, a pretty simple mechanism. I mean, I guess he's just using this to grab the raptor. You got to kind of grab it behind its arms. And let's see. So, yeah, first of all, this claw is as large as him. So, the scale of it's really not great. And then I guess the idea is that he grabs the raptor and then they throw it in a cage or whatever. So, I would say, and again, I'm not super familiar with the Jurassic Park line after Lost World. I know they're still making them. They're still making for the new movies. I've actually owned some of the ones that are like blue, and there's a Chris Pratt, his character, things like that. But I'd say after kind of the first couple Jurassic Park lines, they get kind of, they're not as great. The old ones are pretty cool. The dinosaurs are awesome. I mean, people like the dinosaurs. But I think, I don't know, there's just something about this that isn't very awesome. Doesn't really, I mean, the dinosaur is cool, but I don't know. Maybe you just need, I don't know. It needs some pizzazz. I don't know if that's the right word. It needs, I don't know if it needs a spring action missile launcher, which obviously a lot of the Kenner stuff had, but I think it lost some of that Kenner magic. And also there's, you know, you need Jeff Goldblum too. I mean, he's obviously, you know, in terms of human characters, he's A+. But I did want to open this, even though it's kind of been open. So it is, I do consider this kind of a fail, but more of a fail on my part to not know that it was already off the card, but no big deal. I mean, it wasn't like it was, I mean, I didn't pay a fortune for it, and I still paid a fair price for it, and now we have a Jurassic Park 3 episode of Vintage Toy Freedom. So, let me know in the comments what you think about Jurassic Park and some of the different lines. I think the smaller scale is definitely not as cool as the larger scale, but obviously I would assume it's a cost savings measure. But I don't know. The dinosaurs are pretty cool. People collect those, and they're obviously the stars of the show. So I think this guy gets an A. This guy, I don't know. I just don't like the body sculpt and the whole look of it. So thanks for watching. As always, open your toys, play with them, and don't try to clone dinosaurs. It doesn't turn out good.